guys, my name is Tamara Maksimenka. I'm a dancer and artist who spent all her life in performative and visual art. I'm also an immigrant, and I established an association in Innsbruck with this beautiful lady. This is our third episode of Open Pages, and this is a project where we all have chance to be connected through art, to talk about art, to see different interesting art projects in different locations, and to speak about certain topics, which sometimes we keep silent about. And today, our guest is Lucilla Patrizi, or Luci, and this episode dedicated to pole dance. So, Lucy, can you shortly introduce yourself and how did you enter to pole dance?
Yes, thank you for the introduction. I'm so happy actually to have chance to talk with on the microphone on camera to you. We are long-term friends, I would say, and it's very nice to share with you as the artistic story and the general story. So yes, I'm Lucilla Patrizi. I was born in Rome. I grew up in South Tirol, and yeah, I studied biology, and then I studied art. Yeah, I would describe myself as very curious person, um, very into research and art. At the moment, I'm a Poland's tutor. I give workshops. I do some regular classes. I'm a performer as well. I started with burlesque with a very, very nice burlesque troupe called Nocturne's Creatures Magic to You 1 year ago here in Innsbruck. And yes, that's it. Basic short introduction of myself.
How did you enter to pole dance? Why pole dance?
Oh, it's a very, very short story. I was very bored one day. I was very bored. I was in South Tirol. I was very bored, but I had really the need to move and to discover something new to do with my body. And I was like, yeah, let's try out this Schnupper course in Poland. At the time, it was in Bolzano 10 years ago. And yeah, I went there without any expectations. I knew what's about a bit. And yeah, literally, I got caught, been hanging geblieben on the pole. And that's basically how it all began.
Is it a strong community of pole dance in Bolzano? In South Tirol? Well, Bolzano is not really South Tirol, but
No, it is. It is actually the capital of South Tirol. It's the biggest city. So it is South Tirol. I would say 10 years ago, since I started and since now, the community and the variety of Poland has changed a lot. It's not that much time, but for Poland, it's quite a long time. And at the time, there were only two or maybe three studios around South Tirol. And I was, I got the feeling that the community was very like welcoming and they were super open to new members. And it was quite strong at the time, but small, I would say. Yeah. And this was my first impression. I had wonderful teachers. And yes, but it grows. And if I'm looking now at the pole dance community in Lausanne, it's quite bigger now and stronger. And they do a lot of performances and shows. And yeah, also the variety grows. Yeah.
yes, I mentioned I was not sure this is South Tirol because I think that Bolzano has a quite often that region has a strong impact anyway from Italy. And I think that Italian dancer, this is another topic I would ask you. There is, oh, I think there is a difference between Italian pole dancer, Austrian pole dancer, or maybe Hungarian. I don't know if you experienced a little bit, or it doesn't matter really. I mean, in this style, people do, or in the, I don't know, in the how they present pole dance. What do you think?
Mm, I'm actually not that often involved in Italy because I'm more focusing now on my teaching here in Austria and maybe around Austria. Um, I would say it really depends on the community itself. So maybe Italy, as it is also kind of bigger, I don't know, has other is more different way to do pole dance, but and maybe offers also a lot of championships and a lot of camps and stuff like that. But regarding the style, I would say that it's very equal. Like, yeah. But I'm not that much experienced. I will be more experienced. But yeah, for now, I'll focus.
So, Lucy, you said that you're focusing now on you teaching in Austria. We are currently in pole dance playground studio in Innsbruck. Can you tell a couple of words about this studio and about concept of the studio and if there is something else in it?
Yeah, so yes, I'm focusing now on the teaching here. I'm teaching in two studios and the only one, two studios in Innsbruck, which are Nolan's Playground and Burial Amazons. And both studios run an association. So I would say that the concept of Holden's Playground is about, yeah, mm, I would say it's had to building a community, but in a very in a very soft and nice and gentle way. So it's like we offer most of the time courses after usual working time, so everyone can join, but everyone can also live working lives or whatever. So it's it's like a safe place where you can express your body, where you can express with your body, where you can be, and where you can find also comfort in moving around the pole and moving your body. So what is really important to us as trainees, it's to also bring a variety. Like every trainee, I would say, has special skills or special interests, and it's very important to us to give or to share this interest with our students, and we are basically super free in sharing what we want to do. Like I'm focusing more on, of course, in my regular classes in proper tricks. I really love to analyze how a trick is built, like which muscles are working and what needs to improve also a trick and stuff, because every trick is like a tool. You can use them for your own choreography or your own improv. But more or less, I'm focusing on the improv style and to feel what your body stands to do and to find a dynamic in your movement. Then other trainees are more specialized in championship tricks. Others are specialized in heels classes. And other ones are more specialized in really conditioning and flexibility and stuff. So it's a very diverse offer. And I would say it's in both studios like this. We have wonderful trainees there, very creative souls. I'm actually super, super amazed by when I sometimes can join some classes of other trainees. I'm really like, wow, the quality is really high. So, yes, it's more or less this is the concept about a Holland's association and that everyone, also the trainees, of course, there is like the Obfrau and the stellvertretende Obfrau, and there are different roles into the Verein, but everyone is equal. So we talk to each other, we exchange our thoughts, we build the program or the classes together. It's like really something that um, is equal, and we are working for that equality to and also to our students.
What about the? I have two questions to you. Maybe I would repeat because a lot of things I want to ask you. So first of all, would be nice to hear about second studio teaching. And the other question would be about hierarchy. Don't you think that to achieve a certain quality, we need a teacher? And when we have a teacher, it's already in a hierarchy. And that sometimes this flat communication would not bring as much impact as maybe hierarchical. I am not judging or tell you what is good, what is bad. I'm constantly seeking for solution every step in my life. I just open up this question, maybe what you think about this. So first question is about the second studio and about hierarchy in achieving a certain physical quality traits that you mentioned.
Yes, the second studio, as I mentioned before, is an association, and there are in the associations there are different rules or maybe different mm,
Forms or
different forms,
interest or what
different. There are
approach.
different approaches. This is the right word. I would say.
Yeah.
And so yeah, about the honor studio, it's also an association, and I'm really grateful to also to teach there. So I have insights of both associations, and I feel really connected to both. I'm also very, very grateful to get on Lucilla through the other studio. Yeah, she's a very inspiring instructor. She works internationally as well as performer, teacher. She also gives teacher trainings and stuff. And this is something that I really appreciate from Ariel Amazons that Vivian is really looking after the quality of the trainings. She offers teacher trainings and yeah, also flexibility trainings to improve also the quality of the studio and to yeah, also to offer safety to the students because the more quality you have, the the more quality is in your classes and the safer are the students because beginners really don't know how to handle a pole or how to move the body sometimes and they need a really really good guide and you have a lot of responsibility as a teacher to introduce students to this kind of dance or call it sports or call it whatever you want to call it, but they need a guide, a very good guide. And yeah, so every trainee's responsibility is to achieve a certain quality. And I would say the most important is also to understand what you can offer, like to understand where are my boundaries. For example, I'm for sure not teaching in any class, even if I teach advanced a bird of paradise. This is this crazy, splinty shape on the pole where you hold with your elbow. It's like something that it's high class advanced. And I'm simply not there, even if I teach advanced sometimes. And this is the most important thing, and it's the own responsibility of the trainees to say, what can I teach properly? It's not only about, okay, I can do this trick, so I can teach it. No, I can do several tricks, but I don't teach some tricks because I don't feel that I can offer it to my students still.
Interesting. I have a little bit the same with pole dance. Just shortly, I do pole dancing a little bit in a contemporary way.
Yeah.
But I still feel that I am, that I'm not, I cannot even call myself as a teacher of pole dance. I cannot, I simply cannot. I am a contemporary dancer for sure, even if I don't have my quality of kicking my leg to my nose, but I am there because I dedicated more than 25 years to contemporary and I know every I solo and I did a lot and etc. etc. But with pole dancing, it's still, yes, it's interesting. So can we say that the other studio, which is Amazon's, has a more hierarchical approach?
No, not really.
Not really.
No,
Okay,
it's not. It's not about hierarchies. It's about approaches. It's about inner rules, and it's about how as a community or how as a studio exchange um, you exchange your thoughts in between trainees and water students. So it depends on the approach. This is how society and this is how society association, Poland's association works. So yeah.
Because I think that, well, I came from this kind of very strong hierarchical educative background, and where we had like teacher is a god. And I think that sometimes when we have this strong, like, yes, we have all of these teachers because they are like the best, then we anyway build this hierarchy, no? What is it?
I mean, of course, those in an association, you will look at some teachers like, oh, you are my idol, or yeah, you are my god, if we want to talk in terms of god or goddesses. So, of course, this happens, but I think on a more personal level. Um, in the association, like on a written on a paper, it's not like that. Of course, we have some mm, responsibles, which are kind of looking at the course plan and make a sign on your documents and stuff, of course. But there are always all eyes of the members looking what's happening. Uh, for example, during the year, what's the year program and what fundings we can get and stuff. So of course there are the initiatives of some responsibles, but then everything is like fluid. So all the trainees and instructors are able to say, no, I don't agree with that. And then we need to clarify or find a solution, which is fine with everyone. This, in my opinion, is the big difference to company, a film or something. Maybe it's lower, yes. Maybe these issues are are a bit slower, but the answers it takes a bit longer to get to a point because it's like like with democracy, like everyone
It takes
everyone decides or refuse, so everyone has the possibility to say no, and then everyone in the community mm, is involved to find a solution. So yeah, this is this is how association is like on paper. And association, which is also very important, it's something that should enrich the cultural landscape of a city or some village. And this is kind of the main goal of the association. This is also why, I don't know, prices, for example, are not that high or are trying to, the prices are trying to be cheaper, like in a normal company.
Do you mean prices for classes?
Prices for classes.
Yes, but this is another topic,
students.
and I would anyway ask you. So, Lucy, basically, I have. Yeah, so basically, we entered to the topic. Well, I have so many questions. I think it's not the last podcast to do. First of all, about money and the pole dancing. Does it mean that people can live with the salary of being a pole dance teacher? What should people do in order to live with pole dancing? Yes, and then maybe I will ask you how much costs classes at both studios. If you can share, this would be really interesting, maybe for our viewers. Maybe someone wants to try out.
Yes, if you want to live as a full dancer, you have to really work your ass off. And maybe even if you will work your ass off, you will never get rich. I mean, you can survive and live, yes. But yeah, you have then, I mean, you can survive and live, but with a lot of pain, with a lot of, I mean, your body traumas, like
Probably,
your
right?
body get, your body get, yeah, it's like use, use, exactly. You can feel it. I mean, I'm in my mid-30s. I can feel it that my body needs more rest now, more proper training, more functional training besides go, which changed my life. Really, this I don't know why I didn't do it before, but yeah, you have really to take care about your body in the years, and so I would say live as a pole dancer only with pole dance. I wasn't able to do that since now. And with an association is like association like in Poland's playground or also area Amazon. It's meant to be more a side job. So it's more a side job. You can earn a certain amount of money per month, per year from association. If you exceed this amount of money, then you have to pay again a certain amount of taxes over it and stuff and blah 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 blah. So association work like this with two Poland studios, it's not as a trainee. So I'm talking as a member, as a trainee of this Poland studios. It's not meant to get rich. So what I'm doing for now, I try to offer workshops that I created also to other studios to also the performances or yeah, what I did in the years, I try to offer my material to other studios in order to get to pay it with an invoice and uh, yeah, which I have done again to bring that to Finanzamt, pay the taxes on the invoices and stuff. But yeah, within the association, it's like a side job. It's like a nice way to have a bit more money, but it's not to get started.
Very interesting because when we had podcast with Ivana Marjanovic, we also entered the topic of finances and of taxes. So every podcast we are there. So I'm pretty sure that one day I'm gonna ask maybe one Steuerberater, a tax advisor, or someone to give me an interview because I know a lot as a self-employed.
Yes.
But I think we really also all artists need to understand how does it work, and we will not now spend time for that. But for sure, I know that the system, the financial system in Austria, unfortunately, builds that there is no ground, a wound, for growing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you pay more than before. So for me,
it's a paradox.
it's a
Yeah.
sorry. So for
Yeah.
me, as a self-employed artist, all my immigrant life here, which I spent, for me, always was a question: what the fuck? I want to grow, and I want to grow a community, and for this we need, of course, more sources, which sometimes money is, and we cannot do. But anyway, it's another topic, and I promise you guys that we're gonna talk about finance, art, and finance.
Yes.
Two things. Right now, we find a good tax advisor who is focusing on artistic and fundings and etc. Anyway, I have another question. So let's say that Innsbruck, we have different years, in my opinion, the last 8 years which I'm here, like different development of art. Uh, can we say that pole dance is well known in Innsbruck and has famous for people and interesting for people, that people really knows what is it?
Mhm. I would say I experienced the last 5 years, I would say. I mean, I'm an instructor since 4 years now. And as I really entered the community and the scene in Israel, it was around 6, 7 years. So the last 5 years, I would say a switch happened. So people are more aware about that pole dance exists because it's getting more and more into public with camps, with championships, with nice events, with a lot of topics that came out of pole dance. And I would say that people are very aware about that this exists and it's also available. So yes, I would say that it's something that it's growing and people grow awareness and are also more tempted to try it out. So it's not that much to do anymore. Um, so yeah, I would say that it's growing. I'm happy about it. Also, men wants to try out. They're yeah, people are more open to try it out.
Become open. Would you mind just to guide us a little bit through prices? If someone wants to try out, you have the Schnupperstunde, Schnupperclass, or try out maybe in the area of Amazon. Can you guide a little bit how does it work with money ones?
So I'm actually not the responsible of the finances in Area Amazons. I'm the stellvertretende um,
Yeah, I mean,
finance of here.
yes, I mean, if I am a customer and I just want to
try out.
try out.
Yeah. So we have mm, this structure of memberships. So if you buy a membership, it's like basically like in every gym or also in other communities, also in dance or workout, you can buy a membership basically, which uh, enables you then to join a certain amount of classes during the month. With this membership, you get the classes cheaper. If you want to drop in into a class and without a membership, then it's a bit more expensive. So a very common class, it's about 25 to 30 something.
Without membership.
Without membership.
Do we talk now about the real Amazon?
It's
Like
it's
the same.
more or less
Yeah.
the same. it's more or less the same. It's like this. It changes a bit, depending also on how long the class is. But normally it's about 75 minutes, and it's around 5 and 32 or 30 something. So,
Yeah. Without membership, in my opinion, it's a bit too expensive and too tricky for regularity. But I know that all associations pay
yeah,
to have this regularity, these
Yeah.
classes.
yes. It is like it is, and with this kind of tickets, I mean, we have to pay fucking a lot of rent for doing like this, and it's heavy. In Innsbruck, it's really, really more heavy, and owners also behave not nice sometimes. So then you have to move out suddenly. It's like not easy, and yeah, I can understand because I'm broke too. That's dropping in a class of 30 euros something. It's not easy, and you need to be constant to go dance.
Yeah.
Without being constant, I mean, you can do it for fun, but if you want to grow and to, um, yeah, to evolve, you have to be constant, and this is really expensive.
Exactly.
It's here.
But what I
It's
also want
here.
to say that for 30 euros per class, usually people base who are there already, like other teachers, because then these people value what they get. But most of the time, these people, as we said before, they're not rich. So it's like a contradiction thing. It costs a lot, but mostly for those who are already there and who are already there, most of the time, they're not super rich people, and for trying out, I would never pay 30 euros for something I don't know what is there. And if I will, I mean,
But usually if Poland Studios as an association offers like Schnupperstunden,
like
just to like one. This is how I entered. I think it costs 10 euros, and it's something that the Poland Studios do usually, like to lower the prices for the first tryout, because as you said, you don't know what it is. For 30 euros, I can make grocery and survive instead of living at home. I don't know if I would like it or not.
Yeah.
So they lower the price only for one lesson. It's like a short introduction. Yeah. And yes, it's like Poland students do that. And yeah, and if you don't like it, then it's recommended to get a membership if you want to train the console.
Yes, other question. So maybe I just have to wait. So we pay like membership plus something for the classes? Or as far as I know, in Poland's playground, we pay membership and you just go for a certain amount of classes.
Yeah, you have this option. I mean, it's a bit difficult, I think, to explain here. It's very clear also on the website.
Okay.
That you have the membership, which is a stable fee, and then I think it's about 45, and then it's another kind of membership that you can add, set membership 1, 2, 3, all in or whatever, and this um and this that gives you the possibility to join several classes. For example, in membership 1, you have 1 class per week. In membership 2, you can join 3 classes per week, and then the all in you can live here basically. So it's like it's structured like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. So now we have an overview of how that works. I think it's important because sometimes it's a little bit complicated.
It's
People
a-
like to
Yeah.
hear, then it's easier to have
Yes.
an overview.
Yes.
Lucy, I have another question about pole dance and hierarchies and sexuality. There are a lot of prejudices. Prejudices. But you understood what I mean. Yes, I hope you do, guys. Got that texted probably or make a good Captions. Yes. So that. What do you think about this topic? Does pole dance still perceives as a sexual worker as a tool?
I mean, this is where pole dance, like we know it from the studios, came from. So it shouldn't be prejudiced. It should be something that was something honored. Without strip clubs, without strong women that wants to still work in this field and build basically studios by themselves out from nothing. Um, yeah, it should be something that should be honored, that we should be grateful um, for this. Anyways, we wouldn't have this lot of variety about Poland. So without strict club culture, we would not have other categories like art or pole clothing or pole whatever. It is. It grows from the strict club scene. And
Can you tell a
that's
little?
it. Yeah.
Can you tell a little bit then of history of pole dance? Who were those people who started it? Like, what was in the beginning? One time, because I tried it out in Ukraine like 10 years ago, and at that time, my teacher, Vladimir Vidovska, she started actually pole dance has a very ancient beginning in India, and in our language at that time we called it Pershi. Persh. It means like this pole which Walter has, yeah, and it was a kind of big stick where men climbed and did some tricks. But then there is in the history what I know almost nothing of Paul, there is a kind of gap. So there was this stuff which we know that it existed as an art, and then there is a gap, and then there is a sexy woman. What do you know a little bit around it? Yeah. So of course, the dance around the pole is it's culturally speaking develops in more regions. But the pole dance in the studios, like we have it here in Western Europe, doesn't have anything to do with the Indian or with the Chinese pole and this kind of acrobatics. So this is something that yeah, as a pole dancer and also get to know people and also to also with the students, like people, students ask and stuff. It's something that, yes, it's a pole and it's a body moving around the pole, but it's something completely else as pole dance we have it here in Western Europe. So it's not like coming from there, neither from Chinese pole, neither from the Indian pole. So you cannot say that the pole dance we teach in the studio come from India. Like, think about the names, the Kimi and Gemini and stuff. It's There are no definitions that it's Chinese pole or the Indian poems use. So it's really clear, but sometimes it's not clear what it's like the the Stammbaum from where it comes from, really. So yeah. So let's come maybe to the last century. So there was the strip clubs where in America, yes.
Yeah, it's more
Yeah, because Conducting Pro also came from America. It's
Yeah.
interesting that their place was beginning of many things in the last century. So that was a sexual workers,
Yeah.
or because now I know that a lot of lap dances, like clubs, they don't offer a sex; they offer just dance.
Just dance. Yeah.
And at that times, it was a sexual worker.
Yeah, there were these plays, it was these strip clubs, and they came from sex work. Yes. And basically they were like it was super new and exclusive to see a naked woman dancing around a pole. Yeah, it was really something exclusive and sadly also very exclusive and only for white men. So it's something that also develops, yeah, just to empower also the Black community strip clubs to have their own business. So it's really something which, yeah, empowered sex worker to still work if it's new and to train. Like modern students basically developed like to make the dentists train and to learn also from each other. So it's really something that came out from a strong community that fought for the rights. And it's still a topic here. Sex work is not like a safe job. There are no rules which
Absolutely. In some countries,
it's switching a bit, and it's yeah, and it's also people talk more about it, but it's still something that it's slippery. So if you're
It's
a
a
sex
slippery.
worker, it's a bit slippery. There are two less rights. There are also bureaucracy speaking. It's not like a usual job when you work in a store or something. It's not done here in a legal way, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, sexuality anyway is not an easy topic, right? Because from one side, it's very natural to all of us,
Yeah.
and since thousands and thousands and thousands of years, people did a lot of different stuff, like culture-wise as well. Like, yeah, but from other side, yeah, I would also ask. The question is if we do a sex as a work, what is behind? Like if I do an art, there is absolutely something behind. Maybe there is a need of talk to people, or there is a lack of attention in life. People can call it different ways. I'm not talking about myself now, but in general, that every job we do, if we do it with love, if it's not like a job but like a career, then there is something why I chose this. Yes, there is something behind. So I think that sex, I'm absolutely standing that it should be safe. And I read a lot of interesting now articles how people behave in this way in Nordic countries, how they protect and how they, yes, how they change rules, etc., laws. But I think that there is, yeah, because basically it's easy to get pregnant, and I mean it's a huge topic. And if you're a sex worker, yeah, I don't know. It's maybe we can talk another way around, like another day.
Yeah.
Because it's a huge, absolutely huge and very interesting talk. Also, I just think now, if we come back to the pole dance and sexuality, um, can we say, well, I don't know, can we say that pole dance is still about it?
I would say that as there are a lot, pole dance is very diverse, I would say. So you can, now we have the choice as the path is already um, created from very, very strong community from the 50s and 60s. We have the choice now to choose our side on the pole. So this is what I really like, that you can basically dance your soul out around the pole. Being aware of the history, this remains, but you can find your own style. So I would say, what is the question to me is, what is sexual then? So it's also about the definition of sexiness and sexuality around the whole, because also in contemporary, if a movement is felt and lived, it's amazingly sexy. If a trick in a championship is really like on point, you can really measure the lines and it's like straight like wow. And I see that this movement, the people or the person work on it hard. So to me, it's like sexy. So it's like about the definition of sexiness and sexuality around the pole. Um, it's about a quality of movement, in my opinion, and how the person feels it. That you can see that. And
I absolutely know what you mean, and I think that when we look at the body, which moves really with the sensations, it's absolutely sexy.
exactly.
I want to say another thing that too much, but for instance, high heels is a strong image of sexuality, and I know that in championships it's required. As far as I know,
In some
it was
in the
before.
category heels.
So because it like rooted back days, etc., that it's really important. And so, and I absolutely agree with you that the body which doesn't have the sensation of the movement, just a robot style
Yeah.
is not sexual, even if it's naked. Even if it's naked. But I think that most of people in the world will disagree with us.
Yeah, okay.
And like nakedness, if I can say this word, like to be just naked in the trousers with high heels is already provocative, not for Central Europe, but for the rest of the world. And this, what I see, I mean, I travel the world, I see a lot of people, women in burqa, etc. I mean, it's growing, but it's really like strong and conservative and etc. And yeah, so can we say that all people who dance who dance pole dance, they have a piece of rebellion? Those women who rebel when I stand for the right.
Yes, I would say in the moment to touch a pole, it's like a bit of a political thing. So you take your body back to you and do whatever you fucking want with it. So I want to, I don't know, to slide my ass up and down the pole. Never mind, it's my body and it's my moment around the pole. And yes, it's also thinking about the history and the rules. You have to know when you touch the pole, it's a statement. And if you show yourself on the stage, on the pole, it's a statement. Even if you are entertaining people, you go, me too! It's difficult here. But yes. So it's really something that you have to know. And I'm sure if if you know that and you bring it on stage and show it to an audience, people can feel it. People can feel it that you are on fire and you have the power. You know, it's like taking your body
Because
back to
also
yourself.
from the history, right, that the women's sexuality was pressed down, huh?
Yes, like
And tried controlled and yeah, I mean it's interesting because yeah, anyway, it's nice and it's interesting what you said about statement.
yeah.
So maybe one of the last questions for this podcast, I would ask you about pole dance and art. Maybe nowadays in contemporary life, it's a little bit stupid question, but maybe for people who has less clue about what is pole dance, we can lighten a little bit this topic. Why I ask you? Because normally we say that there is a show and an art.
Mhm.
Like I did the last podcast about two performances. One was site-specific performance from Kunstler Haus Buxenhausen. I guess you have seen, and another about the Baccarat, which Noah presented from people, from dancers from Landestheater. I also made it more like a show and more like a contemporary performance. By show, we say that there are more interest to show, and contemporary, or maybe let's say art, perceives more like the topic we offer to think about. I don't know if it's correct.
Yes,
It's just I improvise, about how we speak about show and art. What about pole dance and art?
So let's get deeper then in this category. Say whole art. I competed 2 years ago, exactly in this category for the vocal theater in Kufstein. And mm, it was described like this, that you have to bring like an artistic concept on stage, um, which is visible. This was more or less the description. So, and I prefer uh, being of nature, learning by the dynamic of the plants and the biological process of plants and stuff. Um, yeah, performing and imitating like movements of plants. I was really doing a research on that, and I was like a shy animal of the nature, learning from the demand of nature. This was my topic, and I would say let's think about the definition of art. In my opinion, art it's a language, um, but not like a language which you hear and that you understand rationally. It's like more a language that hits your guts, and it's hitting another layer. So to me, whole art has to do also with this kind of language. It doesn't have to be super loud. Like also when I perform in a category called art, or when I'm doing whole art, my art is not loud. My art is not like explosive, which I'm very happy that other people do, but it's simply not my feeling to give a message to the audience. I'm more like the researcher. I'm looking on layers in between. I'm more like this analytic uh, artist which wants to show maybe layers or something that it's not that visible, but it's still here and it's still there and it needs to be discovered. So I think putting these two things together, you have a really, really broad um, spectrum of dancing around the pole. So it's like using a topic that maybe it's you want. I mean, if Poland is your language, is your art language, then you can show also. Then you can bring to audience this topic doing a pole dance or showing it on the pole or using the pole. It doesn't have to be a dance like with very common tricks. It's like it's a way of expression of a topic, um, using a tool. Like, I really love the artistic way of pole dance. I really love this conquest of lifting, of and gravity, playing around with these elements without thinking, okay, now I have to show this trick, and now I have to show this other trick. It's like another research around the board. Um, yeah, but I lost the um, the question actually.
Yes, because I was going to speak about art and pole because I think that anyway, pole dance, if you climb, just simply climb up, it's already show. Because it's a huge topic in art. Maybe with someone we're gonna talk with some talented dancers, because in one point of development of art, it became the point that if you like do too much for the audience, you are not good artist. Or maybe I put it in the wrong words. You guys can write what you think about it actually about this kind of topic. Maybe I offend some or something. But this, yes, maybe I use to direct language. What I see that there was like to show is bad in art, and this is a counter to, as you said, if you grab the ball, it's a statement. If there is a pole, it's already kind of showing. So for me, it's very interesting to discover and explore around this. How could it be? How could it be not showy, like being more? Because contemporary is more about feeling. Basically, you come to the stage and you show your feelings, and it's hard to describe because anyway, you do some moves, but sometimes those moves are absolutely from a daily life routine moves. It's normal moves, and they are not expressive. And then the pole dance, when you grab the pole dance anyway, want to kick. So it's very much to show, but it's interesting. I mean, probably we can share some videos, some examples of this.
I think so. As I joined also sometimes your classes, which I really loved, and I think that if you put it the other way around, like it's not the show, it's the pole is like a dancing partner. It's like partnering with a pole. It's like I get in contact with the pole, and then let's see what can happen. What's the dialogue between me and this strong tool, which is like here, it's rooted. So, but this is more my way to work with the pole. Like when I do warm up and I'm by my own, I very strange stuff to get connected with the pole. I put my head on the pole. I give myself some very funny rules to get every training session before training session to know with what I'm working with. And I see the pole more as the dancing partner. When I try to, or when I create my own choreography or my own training routine. So I see it more like a dance partner actually.
Nice. So, guys, leave us a comment. What do you think about pole dance? And about sexuality was an interesting topic. Do you think that pole dance and the sex work is together, is coming together, or not, or any thoughts about it? We're gonna leave all links to the places, to Amazon area, like to Golden Playground in the description below. And thank you, Lucy, so much for this conversation. I'm absolutely sure we're gonna repeat, but not repeat the same, but like repeat the talk about pole dance. It brings a huge range of perspectives, in my opinion, to expression and to art in general. So yes. If you want to say anything else for the last minute to public, maybe just show here.
Yeah, so I'm pretty happy to see also new faces in the studios. I'm here. I'm in Poland's playground and also in area Amazons. And yeah, would be nice also to get to know you personally and have a try on the ball. I will guide you.
Come, come, come. Thank you. Ciao.